We are Witches Who Podcast.
Okay. Hey, Dee.
Hey, Shelby.
Got any weird stories for me?
Yes. So something really interesting happened. Actually, last week I was driving home and I was leaving a message to one of our friends who has been on a solo vacation. As I'm just kind of responding to her message, this was at night. And as I'm driving, like out of nowhere, this white owl kind of like just flew. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if this message is for you or me. I don't even know necessarily what the white owl means. Can't remember. And I kind of let it go, right? She responded that she was actually like 4 days later, no, like 3 days later, she's like, oh my gosh, see, I had forgotten about the white owl. She's like, I was in a yoga class and I didn't really pay attention. And then there was this woman who was wearing like a Native American t-shirt with a white owl. So I was like, oh, that is so crazy. And she just told me this yesterday. So I was at my Monday night class and that I teach, and it's restorative yin and Reiki. However, I was like feeling a little bit under the weather, and I had to hold two of my students who are also Reiki practitioners. I was like, I don't think I'm going to offer Reiki tonight, but if you like to, you can do Reiki on the students. And they both say yes. And I was like, oh, also, can you give me some Reiki? You know? And so our friend Sarah, who's incredible, she ended up coming and doing Reiki on me. Oh, and nice. When she came over, I saw like all this like geometry and a lot of colors. And I saw a white owl.
Well, that's totally her spirit animal, too.
And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. The white owl again, kind of happening.
Interesting.
So I leave, I go home. I am driving home, same road as the day that I saw that white owl. And as I was going a little bit closer to my house up this hill, this gigantic white owl flies through. Yes.
Oh
and I haven't Googled it. And and I could not remember. And I was leaving a message to a client of mine. And I was like, I could not remember the meaning of the white owl. I can't remember if it's wisdom or knowledge or something.
But yeah, wisdom is the owl for sure.
Okay.
Do you want me to read it?
Yes. What does it mean?
It says, the white owl is often seen as a guide to spiritual enlightenment. Its white color signifies purity and a higher level of consciousness, guiding individuals on their spiritual journeys. It's a symbol of purity, spiritual wisdom, and enlightenment. It says it can also represent a desire for knowledge. So it makes sense. Spirit guide, a message from the spiritual realm. Some cultures associate white owls with angels or messengers from God, bringing warnings or guidance.
So interesting. I love it. So I left a message to my friend that originally the first time I saw the owl was like, girl, I think this owl is definitely maybe for you, but I think it's definitely for me.
Yeah.
But something really funny growing up in Mexico. I remember my grandpa used to say, when you see a white owl, you have to cuss at it.
I feel like I've heard you say that before.
Yeah. Because it could be like a bad witch or a bad omen. And then I remember there was a story of the white owls becoming witches. Like yes.
What is that? Transfiguration?
Yeah, but like shape-shifting, right?
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But shape-shifting is kind of, yeah. So it was kind of interesting.
That is so cool. When was that? It was yesterday?
Yesterday.
Okay, that's so wild because yesterday too, I didn't see the owl, but I drive the same route to work like every single day. And I drove like the top of Mission into town. And I was driving I think it was right after, I don't know where it was, like right after the freeway, I think. And on the like right-hand side, there was a dead hawk on the ground. Oh. And I was like, I've never seen that before. Like a dead like hawk before. I've never seen like in the road.
Yeah.
Never. And I was just like immediately was just like overwhelmed with just like this horrible, horrible like sadness. What is it about birds yesterday? Weird. Interesting.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Oh my
I love
gosh.
the message.
That was so cool that like there was multiple times too. Like, and white owls are not common to this area either.
Interesting.
Yeah, barn owls,
Yeah.
Yeah. But not
The gray
white.
horns and stuff. Yeah, we have a lot of those in
Yeah.
the neighborhood. But yeah, it was just like, oh my gosh. And also, I'm doing those spiritual showers. I have talked in another episode about that. Again, I'm about to finish, and I was like, my the woman that I work with, who's an incredible healer and just a wise woman. She's like, just expect the unexpected. Maybe that's that's a sign.
Oh my gosh, that is so
And
cool.
it was so funny when I got home and told my husband, he's like, you cuss at it?
I love that. Did you?
Like, no, once I went up the stairs, I'm more like,
That's so funny. Oh
but I'm
my
like, I kind of don't want to.
Yeah, that's so right,
It's like,
yeah.
I think it's just something I grew up with. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
more
one of those like
silly.
wives' tales kind of things.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
totally.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That was such a good story too. All right.
Anywho,
Well, anyways,
yeah.
I'm Shelby.
And I'm Dee.
We are Witches Who Podcast, and I'm excited for today's episode.
I am. Shelby's gonna take most kind of the reins on this one. So if you heard our last episode, we have new additions to additions plural.
Plural, if you're on the video, you can
yes.
see that it's starting to grow. It's happening. Yes, it's happening.
Here, and I love them. So you want to tell them what we're talking about? Which I'm so
Yes.
excited.
So we're going to talk about spirituality while pregnant. And then I think you did a little bit of research about mama stuff too. So there's actually quite a bit. So I actually went about this wanting to look more into like heightened spirituality, like heightened senses and stuff like that. And then I went down like a whole other rabbit hole. And there's like a lot more than just that.
Yeah, but
so
also
crazy.
like I did a little research on the metaphysical gifts
So
that
Yeah.
are associated.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling we're gonna chat of like do the same research as
it's okay.
So
And it'll be great. Because I also did a little bit too, because if you didn't hear listeners already, I'm having twins, 2 twin boys. But I did some research specifically about twin pregnancies. So I'm really excited to share. I shared that more towards the end, but it's super interesting.
all right.
Yes.
Let's get comfy over
Yeah.
here.
Settle in. Let's dive in.
Grab your crystals, grab your tea.
Yes. And let's go. All right. So, pregnancy has long been considered a profoundly spiritual time across cultures. Beyond the physical creation of a child, it often involves major energetic shifts, heightened intuition, emotional sensitivity, and for some, a thinning of the veil between seen and unseen worlds. Many report an increased openness to spiritual, psychic, or even paranormal experiences during this time. So I kind of went around and asked some people,
Okay.
like if they, like while they're pregnant, if they feel anything specific, like that thinning of the veil, because it happens like all throughout different time periods, right? Every like solstice and equinox and all those things, right? The veil is thinner. So what does that like mean when you're just like, I feel like my energy is so depleted that I like don't have the energy to even like throw guards up at this time. Like, thank you, spirit guides, for supporting me. Because
Yeah.
so it's like, I'm wondering if it has something to do with that. You know how like when you're super tired, it's almost easier to like drop into a meditative state? And I'm gonna have to get used to that. I was like, what's happening? Yeah, so I'm feeling like that. I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it. There's like obviously a bunch of stuff like hormones and all different kinds of stuff. But so I went around and I asked some people, and some people were just like, no, I'm just really tired all the time. Or but then there have been times where somebody told me this story that they've seen like their ancestors a lot. They've been dreaming a lot of their ancestors. They've been dreaming a lot of like that have passed on or whatever. And then there was this one really cool story that after they had their baby, the baby monitor, they video baby monitors now, and picked up like this really interesting like mist looking thing.
Wow.
And she's like, I got this just overwhelming feeling that it was like my grandma.
Oh.
And the baby like noticed it and everything, like moved and shifted, and then it was just gone.
Oh, that is awesome. I always do feel that, like newborns, like, I don't know, I feel like our ancestors, especially the matriarchs in our lineage, they kind of want to come and bless our children.
Yeah, that's
So even if you didn't meet your great 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 grandmother, you know, but it's like, oh, it's part of us.
Yeah.
And I always have like this really comforting feeling that they do come through
Yeah.
to say hello and
I love
see them
that.
and almost give them like a little blessing.
I hope so. Like, right?
I like to think so.
Like, why would you not? When I die, that's my full plan. Like, I feel like, I'm so curious like how it actually works, but in my head, it's like you get to choose. Like, maybe there's like a system of how many times you get to come to Earth. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And it's like you get to choose. Like,
It's like you have 50 times
Yeah.
you can go to Earth. How do you want to
Yeah, how
use
do you wanna
them?
use
It's like, okay, hold on. Let me see what my children are gonna do, my grandkids. Hold on. How far my lineage?
yeah, right? Because you can like at that, and you're in the spirit realm, you could see the whole timelines and all of them, right? Just put like little pin markers on. This is when I'm going to Earth.
Oh, maybe they come and just kind of like bless your children. Like, you're going to be extra witchy.
Oh my
You're going to
gosh.
have these types of gifts. I don't know. I
That
just
is
see
so
it.
cool. And then it's like, who are these little souls?
Yes. That's
Too.
why they heightened, like, I can't wait for you to share more about it. But I
Yeah.
do feel like when I was pregnant, I felt like this baby was coming through like just this pure energy. Even though back then I wasn't as conscious as I am now, knowing the things I know. It was living very much from circumstances and my environment in a way where, you know, the things that matter now, like it didn't matter to me that much before. So I really wish I knew what I know now back then. But I always felt like there was something special. Like it was just like it felt very pure. And that's the way I feel like when you're carrying babies, like they are coming from that pure love source energy. And that's why they're so receptive. That's why if you ask a little one before the age of 4 where they were before they came here, they usually will tell you.
That is so freaking cool. I can't wait for that.
I know. I can't wait to like record your children.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
Okay, Andy has a question.
Here we go.
Let me ask. Okay. So I always feel that. So just having that untouched energy. Yeah. It is not manipulated by anything.
Yeah, so pure. So crazy. Yeah, and that's also like another thing too is when does the soul enter the body? Right? Like, is it at birth? Is it when they take that first breath? Like, there's so many different opinions, and even culturally, there's so
What
many
is
different opinions.
your opinion on that? What are your thoughts?
I
on it?
think I don't think the souls are in there, but I think they're assigned, right? Like, so I think they're there in like the ether or the cosmos, like just kind of like waiting and like watching mom right now. Of like they're almost like my guide at this point, right? And then I think they enter the body when they come out, and then that's when like the amnesia happens where they're
they come
they're
out
wiped.
and they're gone.
Yeah, they're wiped of their memories, kind of thing. But that's what I feel. Like I feel like that I know they're around, and it's funny because my mother-in-law keeps asking, "Have you dreamt of the babies yet? Have you dreamt of the babies yet?" And she has like some cool stories too. But I was like, really, like no, like I really want to dream of them. And then finally, I had this dream a little while ago that they were born, and Christian was gone, my husband, and he wasn't at the hospital for the delivery, and it was just like the most smooth, easy delivery, like no pain, like it was just so easy. And I put him in their little car seats and took him home. Christian was still not home. Well, I don't know, like I don't know where the heck he was. And I, got him there, and they were like not even newborns. They were like already old babies at this point. Like I don't even know.
8-month-old.
Yeah, like they were already like eyes wide open, like just totally like cognizant. Like I don't know, just not a newborn, And I had them in their cribs, and they were just smiling, and they had the biggest, brightest blue eyes ever. And I'm really hoping they have blue eyes. My husband has the most beautiful blue eyes ever. So I'm like, please get those. But it was so weird, and I just like felt like I was like communicating with these things that couldn't talk to me. It was so strange, but I was alone. Like Christian was gone. It was just me, and I was like, I don't know if I like this dream, but I was peaceful. Like it wasn't like something was wrong. It was just like,
In
I don't know.
reality, we birth on our own.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
yeah, this is nobody
they're
else is carrying
bored.
this.
Yeah. Like everybody can guide us to that birth, but ultimately you're going to do is like if the nurse is like, you have to be on your back and you're like, I want to be on all fours. This
Yeah.
is what my body is craving. This is, and you're going to pay attention to that. Of course, you can take
Totally.
in everybody's consideration,
Yeah.
of course, but ultimately you're going to do what feels right
Yeah.
for you for your own birth.
Yeah.
So
I love that too. Yeah, I know. I mean, there's so many, like, it's actually interesting. There's not a ton of resources for twin pregnancies, which is
crazy.
interesting. Like, there's like good, there are like, you just really, really look for them. You know, it's not like super accessible like singleton births. And so I have this cool book that one of my friends recommended and I'm obsessed with it. It is like so helpful. All about multiple pregnancies. So quads, triplets, and twins. And I'm
Okay,
like, and it's cool because it gives you a lot of like statistics and a lot of like different options. It's like a huge overview. It's a huge book. It's actually underneath this computer right now. And it'll tell you like, okay, here is what a singleton birth looks like. Here's a twin birth, a triplet birth, or a quad birth. Like breaking it down between like your nutrition and, you know, what to expect in the hospital if you're doing a hospital birth, like all different kinds of things. And it's just so insane about how like you throw another baby in there and all of a sudden everything changes.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. It's even like when I went to my first doctor's appointment, which is really funny. I'm just going to tell this story real quick because it's hilarious. I have joked my entire life that I was going to have twins. My whole life. Like literally, I manifested this and not even on purpose. Like it's totally my fault. And I also would always say that I'm going to have 2 twin boys.
Oh.
I say they're going to have red hair and blue eyes.
Oh.
I said that since the time I was a little kid.
What?
So far,
I don't think I heard
I've
that.
been pretty
I
right.
remember I remember the kind of the twin thing, but not the 2 boys. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know. And so far I have been right. And I've literally been saying this for how old am I? Like 30 something years. Anyways. So when I went to the doctor, I found out right away. It was a cool thing that I got to share with my sister. So I was visiting her in Texas because I swear I'm going to get back on topic with the spirituality thing here in a second, but I'm just going to tell the story. So I was visiting her in Texas because she just had a baby. So I was so excited going to meet my new niece. And we've been trying to get pregnant for a really long time, like years. And then finally I was just like, I quit. Like, we'll adopt. Like, I'm done. I didn't want to do any hormonal stuff. I didn't want to do IVF or any of that. I was like, you know what? I'm not meant to have babies. Like, it's fine. There's so many babies in the world that need homes, and I will give them a great place to, you know, a great household, right? So that's kind of where I was headed. And I went to Texas. This was early January, or actually no, first week of February. And so I told my sister, right when she picked me up from the airport, and she's like, so what's going on? You know, just chatting. And I was like, well, my period's 1 week late. And she's like, okay, so we're going to go get some pregnancy tests. I'm like, okay.
Aww.
We literally drove straight to Target, bought 2 pregnancy tests, and then I didn't want to take them.
Yeah.
So I was so tired of taking a negative test. You know what I mean? And so we get back to her house, and, you know, I'm just, you know, this isn't about me. Like, I'm here to see this adorable baby. And I know I'm biased, but she is so freaking cute.
So
like,
cute.
She is so cute. Beautiful. And she looks just like my sister, which good for her because my sister is gorgeous. But seriously, I'm going to cry. This is pregnant. Like, she's so cute. I love her so much. Anyways. And so, like a few days go by and it's like, I'm like, it's just daunting. It's like on the bathroom counter, like waiting for me to take it. And it was 2 of them. And the first one was digital and the other one was, like the regular, just analog with the little lines, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so I took one of them at night, right before I went to bed. And I know you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to take them in the morning because that's when the HCG is like highest or whatever. So I took it and it didn't work. It was like an error. Like it just didn't work. I don't know. I peed on so many sticks. You'd think I'd get it right, but apparently not. So I was like,
Maybe
okay,
you knew
whatever.
that you were taking it at night.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And I was like, I'm going to take the digital one because that one can't be wrong. Okay. Well,
It was wrong.
so the next morning I decided, okay, I'm going to do the last one. And if it doesn't work, then whatever, I'll deal with it when I get home. So I did, and it was immediately positive. That's never happened to me. I've never gotten a false positive. I've never gotten positive anything. It was immediate. And I like looked at it for a second and I was like, it wasn't like, you know, you're supposed to wait 3 minutes and then whatever. It was like immediately. And I was like, what? Like, no way. And nobody was awake yet in my sister's house because they're, I mean, exhausted. They've been up all night with newborns and with a newborn. And I was also on California time. She's on Texas time. So like I was up way earlier because I thought it was later. So I'm just kind of waiting around. Finally, I go back to my room and I call my husband and I FaceTime him and he's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Pretty sure." It was really funny. He goes, "Well, great. Like finally, like can't wait for you to come home. And then hang out with him. And then my sister finally is awake. So I walk out there and I'm holding the test and I walk out into the kitchen and she looks at me. She goes, "Did you take it?" I was like, "No, I'm holding it."
Just pee stick. Yeah.
She's like, "Well, is it positive?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "No, it's not." I was like, "Yeah, it is." She goes, "Oh my God." She just immediately like bursts into tears and gives me this big hug. It was such a cool moment to have with my sister, like it was super special. And then, I don't know, here we are 17 weeks later, so crazy. It was pretty awesome. And then finding out it was twins was like insane. Like I was in shock already just being pregnant at all. And then we go to the doctor and my nurse was like, "I've been super sick, like miserably ill, Yeah. And so my husband made a joke to the nurse that, I heard like if it's, twins give you really gnarly nausea and you're way sicker. And she just kind of like laughed, was just like, "Well, he's not wrong. Like it's very possible. I've been doing this a long time and I don't know." And I'm like, "Oh, that's funny." And then I go in for the ultrasound. We have this whole conversation about a birth plan with my doctor, like things that like I've already researched that I know I want, and just other things about like nutrition and just vitamins, all the stuff, right? And so then he puts the little thingy on my stomach. He goes, "Oh, there's two." I'm like, like funny, like you talk to the nurse, right? Like, no, he's like, "No, there's two. Look at the screen." And I mean, obviously, like very clearly there's two babies in there, two separate sacks and everything. And I looked at my husband and I was like, "What? Like, what? Like, are you kidding me right now?"
We order one.
Yeah. I was like, "This isn't what I ordered." Like,
but it comes with an extra.
oh my gosh, it was so wild. And then my doctor looks at me and he goes, "So everything we talked about, just forget it."
Oh,
we'll have a new conversation. Because everything changes at that point, and I couldn't believe how much actually really does change. Like, and then he goes, the funny part too is this doesn't mean you need to take 2 prenatal vitamins. Like,
when you told me that, I laughed so hard.
I never even thought of that.
I know.
Like, that's so funny. He goes, "You'd be surprised."
Yeah, but maybe people out there are like, "Oh, I have to babysit. I need to take double the vitamins."
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, it does. But I just laughed because I was like, I don't think I would take 2. I think I would.
I mean, it's my body, right? Like, I don't know, but yeah, so that was just a wild ride figuring out it was twins, and then wanting to wait. Like I kept this secret for actually, I told you almost immediately, but like I kept it a secret from like my mom, from my whole family, except my sister, for a really long time. And it was really hard,
but you did it, and everybody's so happy.
Yeah,
at the end,
it was I'm still kind of in shock a little bit about it, but I'm really excited. But so then I've just been constantly like checking in with myself of like, I want to feel like that spiritual like connection, and I'm just exhausted. But the other night, one of our other friends, Michaela, she is a Reiki practitioner and has a really amazing practice. Go follow her on Instagram. What's her thing called?
Cosmic
Lotus, like energy healing or something like that.
Cosmic Lotus energy healing.
She is incredible. So she was doing an Instagram live and I popped on there. This was yesterday. No, it was Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like 8:00 at night. I was actually in the shower when it started and I like hurried and got out really fast. And she basically gave me like a private Reiki session through Instagram Live. And it was incredible. Like that, I think that really reset my energy and made me like connect to my body. Like I think I was kind of floating out because I've been so miserably sick, like so miserably sick that I can't even think about anything else. And like food is awful. But that was incredible. Like she like walked me through this meditation where I really dropped down into my body and it's like visualizing like that life force down, and she brought the babies into it and was like feel it down and around the babies, and it was like I felt this just like cool surge of energy that I'd never felt before. And it was so powerful. Like she is super awesome.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that she's doing those
Me too.
lives. Yeah, no, she's absolutely phenomenal. And she does, just a little shout out to our Michaela. She's incredible. She does every Sunday. I'm not sure exactly the time. I know she did it at 8. And actually I pop in because I was like, she sent me a message. It's like, I'm going to go live at 8. I was like, I'm so glad I didn't miss it. And then I went and showered and forgot about it. And I joined it towards the end, but I was so happy to see that you were there. But she does them for, free Reiki, live Reiki on Instagram every Sunday, either 5 or 8. Is going to be her time, but go give her a follow.
Yeah, she's awesome.
We'll put her Instagram on our show notes,
Yeah,
so you
for
can
sure.
follow her, or go into the Witches Who Podcast Instagram and you'll see her there as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely worth it. And yeah, so that kind of like boosted my my spiritual. I mean, I've always been super spiritually connected, so I've been like annoyed that like I have no energy to like do anything. And
Well, the physical part has been kicking your butt tremendously, on for sure. But now I feel like you look like you've been turning that corner.
I feel like
more like
sort of.
we can have food together and stays down
For now.
For now, so which is good. But so
I'm down to puking once a day.
yeah,
It's good.
it just feels
It's
wish I
a
could take it
high
away.
improvement, you guys.
I know.
And it's like I don't even feel bad. Like I just like I feel like horrible like 10 minutes before I'm about to throw up, and then I throw up and I'm fine.
Maybe you're throwing up the yucky thing.
Yeah, maybe I'm just
Maybe
like
it's just-
purging
yeah.
icky. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
Because it's like I eat yogurt and eggs.
okay.
I'm like not even kidding. Like the toast I ate earlier was like that's like the most roughage I've eaten. Like it's insane.
Well, hopefully you can keep it down. So we can get to nausea as the next step. So you're like throwing up once a day.
Yeah,
Now
it's
it's gonna
good.
be like nausea once a day and then subside.
That's what I'm hoping.
Maybe.
We'll find out. But yeah. So anyways, so that Reiki really like I feel like reopened my channel, and I also taught a sound certification all weekend. So it was like I was vibing off of all the vibrations and everything too. And then I was super exhausted because being a facilitator and it was like the perfect reset.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so happy that you were able to, you're like, oh my gosh, she's going live. I'm going to go just be there.
And it was, I didn't even know she was going live. And I was just on because, I have a horrible habit of taking my phone with me in the shower. It's like,
I receive sometimes voice notes from you.
it's like you hear the shower going,
I'm in the shower.
so bad.
Yes. I don't even know how you do that. Like I have no clue. I was like, I can't.
I like lean it on like the little soap that like insert and I just leave it in there. I don't even know.
Really? It never falls?
No, it doesn't.
Girl.
Yeah. I
would
like
be
play
terrified
music
of
or
it
whatever.
falling, even though I know our phones.
They're like water.
Yeah,
resistant or
waterproof and
whatever.
stuff, but I'm still terrified.
I know.
All right. Well, you are braver than I am, girl.
But so like, so then I was on Instagram.
Wait, were you on the live in the shower?
I started it because it said it went live. She went live, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to like miss it. What's she doing?"
yeah.
And so I clicked on it, and I was like, "Oh, she's gonna do Reiki. I need to get out. I need to get out of the shower." And I like hurried up and like got out of the shower while she was still waiting for people to come on. So it was perfect. But
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh man, she's gonna love it when she knows that we talk about her.
know,
She's gonna be
it's
like,
so
"Oh my
cute.
gosh, I'm so shy." Right now, she's fantastic. Go follow her.
she is awesome. So I am determined now to get back into my meditation practice and connect deeper. So I don't have a ton of downtime right now, but I will here pretty soon, right? When I go on maternity leave. So I'm hoping that through all of this exhaustion and all these, I keep wanting to nap, but I'm just not a napper. I'm trying really hard. So instead I'm going to meditate and I'm going to connect back to my ancestors and, all these things. But
And it's the perfect time to call your ancestors in when you're going to give birth.
Exactly.
It's like the perfect time.
So I'm excited for that. Maybe I'll meet some new ones that I don't know.
Oh yeah.
That could be fun.
Calling all parts of yourself too.
Oh, that's
you
good.
know, just calling like
Yeah.
all the parts of you to come together to support you, and just guide you the way you want to birth and bring your babies in.
Yeah.
Just
And
making it a
carry
safe
them to terms.
space. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's so much. So I haven't even like gone into my notes at all because I got sidetracked. I was telling you my birth
Well,
story,
thank you
my
for sharing.
pregnancy story.
I love to hear that.
Thank you. I figured this was the perfect episode to share this kind of
Of
stuff
course,
on.
of course.
So there's a lot of different things that people have claimed around this thinning of the veil while being pregnant. Like energetic sensitivity. Pregnant individuals often become more sensitive to energy. This is partly biological, so heightened senses to protect your fetus, or in my case, it's fetuses, but also energetic, perceiving subtle energies more keenly. Wait, what? This is partly biological, but also energetic. So like heightened senses, okay, yeah, and perceiving subtle energies more keenly. Which I can absolutely attest to that for sure. I mean, everything smells horrible, so there's that. But it is interesting. Like I'll get like these, like my intuition is on fire right now. Absolutely. So that's super interesting. And like I start thinking about things that I would never normally think about, like just my general safety. Like I feel like I'm so much more concerned about my safety, which is interesting because I mean, if you know me, I have no regard for my own safety at all.
That is crazy because I used to be like, I used to do like bungee jumping when I was and like motorcycle riding and the whole thing. And then after I had kids, I was like, I cannot do any, like no risk of anything where it was like physical risk. Like probably if somebody would have asked back in the day, hey, you want to go throw yourself from an airplane? I would be like, yes, which a lot of mothers do, and awesome, yay for them.
Glad I did that before because I could never imagine myself doing that again.
But after I just been so much more cautious.
Yeah.
So, and that is something that changes.
So crazy. Yeah. Even like the little things like the seatbelt in the car is stressing me out right now. Like,
why? What do you mean?
Like, because it puts a little bit of pressure.
There's a thing.
I've seen it. I don't remember what it's called, but I need to buy one.
Yes.
Because I'm like constantly like worried I'm going to get in a car accident now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's those fears, right? That come, but remembering extra protection.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like sealing yourself. But it's normal to have those.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. So other things, so hormonal changes. Clearly, fluctuations in hormones like estrogen and progesterone can alter your brain chemistry, making it more prone to intuitive, vivid dreams and emotional depth, which I haven't had a ton of weird dreams. Like I feel like I dream pretty heavy already anyways. But I haven't I don't feel like I've hit like that level of sleep yet.
Yeah.
Because I'm constantly waking up all the time. But when I have had some dreams like the one I shared earlier. But nothing crazy. So I'm waiting for that to happen. But I've heard that a lot of times about like, you know, you have crazy dreams when you're pregnant or whatever. Ancestral and spiritual portals in many belief systems, especially in indigenous African and Celtic traditions. Pregnancy is seen as a walking between the worlds. The soul of the baby is believed to be close to the spirit world, and the mother becomes a living bridge. I really liked that.
I do.
The living bridge.
Yeah.
Actually, because that word bridge is something that comes to me a lot.
Yeah.
Like I got a download like a while ago that was like be the bridge. And that applies to like so much of my entire life of like everything, like supporting people and guiding people with coaching and development and all that stuff. And then now this, like carrying babies, like totally being that bridge to the spirit world. Like I feel that so much, but I love that walking between worlds. Super cool.
Yeah. Well, you are a portal.
Yeah.
You are a portal for life.
Fascinating. Like how can you witness the miracle that is birth and childbearing and not believe that there is like a spirit realm or that portals don't exist or right? Like it's just like
they still can't figure out the God gene. Well, they call it the God gene, right?
Yeah.
They can't. There's no explanation for it yet. So, you know, they can try to make a baby in a tube, like outside the womb.
Yeah.
And of course, IVF, it's kind of like that, but not.
Like
it's just. It's a like a starter, just like
it's a starter.
It's a starter. It's like
like a seedling,
and but it's not. It can never go to full term, you know, because it needs that soul piece.
Yeah.
So you can't, like they make chickens, but they're not really chickens, right?
Oh,
They
yeah.
make like the fake meat,
Ugh.
which is gross. But but the soul piece is the piece they cannot figure
Yeah.
out.
So interesting.
And I don't think they ever will,
Yeah, I don't either.
because it's beyond.
It's not to be manufactured.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
necessarily manufacture a soul,
Yeah,
so
that's so cool.
fascinating.
We're magical.
We are.
Then there's psychic opening. Some pregnant people report precognitive dreams, heightened mediumship abilities, or a sudden awareness of spiritual beings, often ancestors, spirit guides, or protective energies. So, time for my poltergeist to pop up.
You know what? I think you're going to lose it.
I know.
I've told you this before. I'm like, you're going to be walking around. Your kids are going to be like levitating, like with their hands, like making something levitate. And I don't think you're going to be like, awesome. I think,
like,
or
oh,
they're
no.
talking. You're going to be talking to
Like
somebody you can't see.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, as I said that, I just saw something come. And, it would be like that. And I don't know, but I really don't think you're going to be like, oh, it's okay. I'm just going to go over here and scream.
You keep talking to
Okay.
whoever that is, son. Oh, God.
It's the
you're
man
right.
with the tall hat.
Oh, my God. No.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, hi.
So
Well, how to read your house of
Yeah,
demons
go back to whatever
that your
episode that
kids brought in.
Poor kids. Oh, yeah. They're going to do some crazy shit. I can feel it.
There you go.
So those are kind of like the main themes, I think. So I like to go into a little bit of kind of maybe a little discussionary portion here and talk about like more paranormal themes. So increased intuition and prophetic dreams. So how dreams during pregnancy might offer like messages, but also like future events, or like the symbolism behind the dream, right? Like, what are we looking for in those dreams? And I know we did a whole episode on dreams before, but now it's like, because they're heightened, and I feel like there's so much more, like they're more specific to like messages, like that my guides want me to see, right?
Yeah.
It's like an easy way to come through. And then in multiple folklore traditions, a mother dreaming of certain animals, like deer, rabbits, or dragons, was seen as foretelling the character of the unborn child.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that cool? So I was like, oh my gosh, now I really want to
Okay.
pay attention to my dreams. But I'm curious if you've had any, like, you've had 2 babies, 3 babies.
Yeah. But I see, I can't remember the dreams, but I remember something that I talked to a friend about. So when she was pregnant, she had a lot of crazy. First, it was like, I have the most vivid. She was having the vivid dreams, like very vivid. And then she realized she was having premonitions.
Ooh.
And they were, and it wasn't like bad premonitions, right? Like she could see herself like going to Costco and buying this stroller that was, Costco will carry something, and then if you didn't buy it, you're out of luck. And she will see herself, and somebody may think it's like, well, that she just went to Costco and do the thing. But she will see the people she saw in her dream, she would see at Costco.
So crazy.
The cashier, and like everything. And it's not like she chose that lane and things. It would just kind of happen. One time, I can't remember what place she was at, but she saw the cashier, like they were checking out. I can't remember where it was, but they were checking out, and she's like, oh my gosh, that girl was in my dream. And she's like, oh, that they got that wrong. I'm not in her lane. When she was about to go pay, they closed her lane and move her
Oh my
to
God.
the other lane. Like
What?
little things like that. One time somebody came and did her lawn. They have lost, like the person who did their gardening had moved, and they were like stressing. And she's like, I just saw this guy kind of come over and do our lawn, and it was paid by somebody else. So somebody had gifted them. So little things that
Oh my gosh.
she didn't know how they were going to come about were just kind of happening,
Wow.
and things like that. It was
is
so
so
crazy.
cool.
She saw herself like pulling clothes, that she didn't buy, but like exactly like a onesie with very particular colors and patterns. And then suddenly she'll open a gift and it's what she saw
Yeah.
in the dream. Like
That's
it was
so
a lot of
cool.
crazy things.
I've done that a lot. Not recently since I've been pregnant, but I've done that like throughout my life.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
I'm
really
like,
cool.
I'm ready for it to get intense.
But you see, this is you, Shelby. You're like, I am so ready, bring it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh,
forget
she's trying.
it.
She needs to stop trying.
I know.
And then it doesn't happen. You need to
so
let
annoying.
go of the poltergeist.
I know. All right, I give in. Poltergeist. Now it's gonna happen.
See, you didn't. Yeah. Oh my God.
The sink turns on. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I don't know what we would do if suddenly something would happen. We may continue to just record and ignore the ghost,
I don't know.
the
I
spirit.
keep looking at the sink now.
Oh my gosh, I'm looking at the stove. What if it suddenly just goes?
Oh my gosh, turns on. Oh my gosh, so creepy.
Let's turn it on. Yeah.
Oh, but that's super interesting too. Like
Yeah.
premonitions. And then like back on the topic of deja vu, like how like weird that feels. Like when you dreamt it and then it happens, it does feel like deja vu to a certain degree.
Now that you're saying that, I think I did. That sounds familiar. It's been, my baby is 18 now. It's been a while, but right now they say deja vu. I was like, oh, I think that may have been
So
something.
crazy.
Yeah.
So cool. And then like spiritual protection, like pregnancy brings forward your guardian angels or your ancestors. In African tradition, it's believed that the spiritual midwife from the ancestral world accompanies each birth to ensure safe passage. So it's like you're literally given a spiritual midwife.
I love that so much.
Isn't that such a cool thing? Like I want to
Yes,
believe that that's
please.
real. Like,
Why not? Who's going to take it away from you?
Yeah.
Who can tell you no?
totally.
If it's your belief, it's your belief.
Yeah, and it's like I almost want to like say like, yeah, okay, maybe it's like your grandma or whatever, but also like, what if it's that soul that is to enter that baby? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
supporting its own vessel.
Absolutely.
That's kind of what I'm feeling right now.
Also, it may be their guides. We come here with a new
Yeah.
contract, and then it's like, you're going to forget everything. So I'm going to guide you
That's true.
all the way through so you feel safe. And then it's like, bye,
Yeah,
you're on your own. Memory wiped.
yeah. Good luck. Welcome to Earth School.
I just on that, on like memory wiping and things like that. I don't know if you've seen in the news sometime. I remember this boy, and I think there's been several that he knew at a really young age. He was like a monk, like
that
a
sounds familiar.
like a Buddhist monk, and like at a really young age. And they're this couple, they're just American, like they're not from Asia or anything, and their son was like at a very young age, and then they started talking to, I believe, some Buddhist monks, and they're like, no, he is like the reincarnation and everything. And I think they, instead of pushing it away, they kind of nourished that part and supported him. And I think the last time I saw he was like 7. I don't know how old he is now, but he believed. So I'm thinking these like this type of children that come in, their memory is not completely wiped, or what happens there,
That's
you know,
interesting.
maybe, we're the lucky ones to do all the hard work. Some other ones just come with conscious awareness.
The purpose already
The
aware
purpose
of.
is
Yeah.
there at a age of 2 or 3. They say all these things, but imagine how many kids out there maybe begin to say certain things at the age of 3 and 4, and their parents just push that away, and you're crazy and this and that.
Totally.
So didn't get
Probably.
celebrated, and it got like shunned.
Yeah. So then they forget about it, and
Wow.
yeah, interesting.
I know.
But yeah, I really liked that safe passage midwife, spirit midwife.
I love that.
And then like different thinning of the veil, so amplifying the awareness. Synchronicities become way more prevalent, and then the unseen presences. There's countless accounts of pregnant women seeing departed loved ones, like relatives they'd never even met appearing to offer comfort or warnings. I thought that was super interesting. Yeah, I remember like my sister-in-law actually telling me one time that that her I think it was her daughter, she would look at a picture of like her grandpa that passed away and to talk about him all the time, be like, oh, this is like say his name, like she'd never known this guy. And like talk all about his life and things that he did, and they're like, what the heck? Like how could you possibly know that? And like talked about the house he used to live in, but that she never went there, never, so crazy.
I hear that a lot. A
Yeah.
lot. That's why when they're little, it's like
Ooh, it just got really
encourage
cold in
them.
here.
I know. I just, who's there?
What the heck? Like
If
really
you're
cold.
here, turn on the water.
Or the heater.
Or the, because it got cool. Or the heater. Can you make some cacao? Yes. Or tea? Thank you.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
But yeah, I've heard stories like that a
Yeah.
lot.
I wonder what your kids are going to do.
I know. I'm so curious. Totally.
Exciting.
Especially because I do have like a lot of departed family members too. Yeah. Like I feel like for sure somebody's gonna come do something.
Oh, I feel like your grandma, the druid, will
Oh,
just,
totally.
One, she'll be here often.
Yeah. And Christian's brother. I feel him everywhere all the time. He's totally gonna.
Oh,
I already know.
he'll be the the jokester uncle,
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
the fun and just like,
That'll be super interesting.
let's creep out your mom.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to follow us on social media at Witches Who Podcast.
And the baby's soul. Like some believe that the baby soul chooses the parents, and that the mother might receive visions or dreams about the soul's past lives or mission. So that would be cool to channel like two different timelines.
Yeah.
Like yeah, and then throw in the twins into it. It's like, okay, like that's a lot to. I'm so like when I get to the twin part later,
I was about to ask you. I was like, wait, hold on. Do you get double
so
everything,
interesting.
or what's going on?
I don't know. We'll find out. But there's famous accounts from indigenous Hawaiian tradition. This one was really cool, where pregnant women dream of their future child's life path, and it was considered a sacred duty to nurture that destiny.
Wow.
That is so. It makes me think of Moana.
Yeah.
I love that. And encounters with the paranormal. So reports of paranormal activity increasing in homes during pregnancy. Poltergeist-like happenings, electronic disturbances, shadow figures. Some interpret these not as malevolent, but as the energy around the pregnancy itself being electrified. Ooh. I know. And then there's this it says a well-documented 1970s case where a woman in New England reported intense paranormal phenomena during her pregnancy that vanished when her child was born, suggesting that the phenomenon was linked to her heightened energy field from being pregnant.
Dang.
Like gnarly stuff, like
Things moving.
things moving around, like shadow figures, like
Wow.
everywhere. And then the second she gave birth, it just stopped.
Wow. Wait, hold on. Did it stop like she just couldn't see them and it was still happening?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Crazy. Okay.
How interesting is that though?
Very.
I know. So then it gives me some practices to do, or like I found like a bunch of practices that people were doing of like dream journaling, protection rituals, ancestral connection rituals, meditating like to the soul of the child, and then like grounding exercises and just trying to root into the physical body. Like there's a lot of these exercises and rituals are really rooted in like getting into the body, which is super interesting. So that made me think of like the meditation that Michaela was doing. And I love that. That was super cool. But yeah. And so since I found out about this twin situation, I didn't realize how like they're everywhere. It's like, when like I was talking about like a couple podcasts ago, where I was like, once you start thinking about getting a new car, that car pops up everywhere. Well, now like twins are popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
Like that was weird. So this like weird thing out of the corner of my eye. But there's a lot to that. And then I found like a bunch of famous accounts of spiritual and paranormal experiences. So Marilyn Monroe's unborn child. Have you heard about this?
No, tell me.
Marilyn reportedly experienced vivid and disturbing dreams during her pregnancies, often involving symbolic messages and encounters with mysterious figures. Some biographers suggest that she felt connected to the unborn children she lost, sensing their presence even after miscarriages, almost as if their souls lingered near her.
Wow.
Like, how sad. That poor woman was like so troubled.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then Queen Victoria was one as well.
Okay.
Though famously pragmatic, confided in her journals during her pregnancies, she had intense prophetic dreams about the fate of her children and the political future of England. Some historians suggest she had a kind of intuitive foresight that only heightened when she was carrying a child.
Wow.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like a ton. Like, I don't know who Shirley MacLaine is, but do you know who that is?
No.
Well, she was an actress apparently.
Okay.
And spiritual author. Did not know that. She wrote about reincarnation, spirit guides, and other dimensions.
Okay.
But she had only one child during her pregnancy. I'm short of breath now. I'm like, during her pregnancy, she claimed to feel overwhelmed with waves of cosmic connection, sensing not only her baby's soul, but past life ties between them.
Wow.
Like her and the baby's past lives together.
Wow.
Very interesting. And then Anne Rice, she was a famous author. She wrote Interview with a Vampire. She had powerful experiences of grief and paranormal sensitivity after losing her daughter to illness. During her subsequent pregnancy, she reported spiritual encounters, vivid dreams of the afterlife, and a sense that her late daughter's spirit visited her, offering reassurance.
Oh.
I know. And then in the Native American tradition, the Lakota tradition specifically, the white buffalo calf woman, as a spiritual being who brought sacred teachings to the people, was born to a woman who had visions of animals speaking and guiding her during pregnancy. It's said that the mother knew her child was destined for the sacred path because of these visions.
Wow.
So fascinating.
Yeah.
But
So interesting.
yeah, there's so much stuff connected to being pregnant. Basically, just the veil is just so thin, and you're becoming this portal to the ether, to the cosmic realm, because you're about to invite in this soul or souls into your body. Like, so fascinating. So it took me down, obviously twins is a whole new thing, so that took me down wanting to learn more about the twins, and I was like, whoa, okay. And it's also of course I'm having twins, when I read this, I was like, this is why.
Okay.
So I'm a Libra, obviously, and not obviously, I don't know if anybody knew that, but so balance and harmony is super important to me. So I thought that was super fascinating to have. Now I have two babies.
Yes.
And that is one of the biggest symbols of twins is duality and balance.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, okay, across multiple spiritual traditions, twins symbolize the balance of opposing forces. So light and dark, masculine and feminine, earthly and divine, mind and heart, all those opposing themes showing up as balanced harmony.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Pregnancy with twins is often seen as a sign that the mother is carrying two complementary but distinct energies that may represent important cosmic principles coming into the world.
Ooh.
Isn't that super interesting?
I love
Oh my
that.
gosh, so powerful.
Feels
And
like a lot of responsibility at the same time.
Yeah, it does.
Right? I was just when you read that, I was like, whoa, okay, that feels.
And they're not identical twins either. So they are, I mean, even if they were identical, it's two separate souls still.
Of course.
Some traditions teach that twin souls incarnate together for a specific mission, to bring healing, balance, or transformation to their family, culture, or the world at large. That's so crazy.
Wow.
In metaphysical circles, there's a belief that twin pregnancies might sometimes involve twin flame souls. So two beings deeply bonded across lifetimes, often representing mirror aspects of one another. In this view, they come into the physical plane together for powerful shared missions.
Wow.
Oh, that's insane.
That is so cool.
Yeah. Many anecdotal reports suggest that pregnancies involving twins often bring stronger paranormal phenomena, right? Such as stronger dreams and prophetic visions, more vivid spirit visitations, often by ancestors, sensing two distinct consciousnesses or personalities very early. Feeling as though other beings, guides, or protectors are watching over your pregnancy more actively.
Wow.
That's super cool. The presence of two souls amplifies the energetic field around the pregnant person, making the environment more spiritually charged and sensitive.
Wow.
I know. It's my whole body is vibrating right now.
It's definitely a lot of energy. A lot of energy. Wow.
Super cool.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, and then it's like cultural representations too. Like I didn't realize how much twins show up like in different cultures.
Okay.
Like West African traditions. In Yoruba culture, twins are considered sacred and are believed to carry extraordinary spiritual power. The Ibeji are the divine twins of Yoruba mythology, often seen as bringers of prosperity, blessings, or deep lessons. If one twin passes away, the living twin is believed to maintain a spiritual connection with the deceased. Some Yoruba families create a small doll called the Era Ibeji to honor the spirit of a deceased twin, believing the twin spirit lives alongside the living sibling.
Wow. Okay, that's insane.
Right.
Like, wow. Yeah, that's a lot. Sounds like a lot to like the living twin. To
Yeah,
be
what
like,
a burden.
Yeah, almost like in a way, instead of like, make peace, love, and let it go.
Yeah.
It's just like it lives. Do you have to recognize it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm curious.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a twin. So interesting. In Native American tribes, like the Navajo, they view twins as sacred, often associated with mythic heroes or cosmic dualities.
Wow. Love that.
In some legends, twins represent the struggle and balance between forces, like creation and destruction, teaching that both are necessary for life. And in Hindu tradition, twins are sometimes seen as manifestations of karma playing out in perfect symmetry. Great.
Thank you.
They might be viewed as past life connections manifesting physically, companions in a spiritual journey that transcend a single lifetime.
Okay.
I love that one. That one resonates. The Hindu tradition always resonates with me. Yeah.
Wow.
So lots of cultural stuff too around twins. And I really didn't think that there was that much like about it, but I have more.
Yeah.
So famous and historical twin pregnancies and spiritual experiences. So many mothers of twins report dreaming of two babies before even knowing they were carrying twins, which I mean, I said earlier, like I've always said that, even though I had no idea.
Yeah.
Before even knowing they were carrying twins, often including symbolic imagery like two fish swimming together, two birds, two mirrors facing each other. Dreams are taken as a spiritual sign of the twins' presence. And then there's like there's something called, what is it called? Oh, what is it? Like when one twin passes away, it's like some kind of like, crap, whatever. I think it happened to Elvis. Let me think. Elvis had a twin brother.
Oh,
Who
okay.
was stillborn. And he always felt the absence of that twin. So he always felt like he was like missing something.
Yeah.
And then I think the same thing happened to Shirley Temple, her mom. So Shirley Temple's mother reported dreams of twin stars descending from the sky before learning she was pregnant. Though Shirley was born a single child, the dream was interpreted as a sign of her twinned destiny. That was interesting. No, but there's like another, I forget what it's called, but it's like when you lose a twin that there's just like this empty feeling from the other baby. And I don't remember what it's called. This was super interesting to learn about though. But yeah, so there's just a ton of stuff around just twin pregnancies. And then I looked up like some rituals that you could do, which I thought was pretty cool.
Okay.
And it is kind of funny too, because one of them is like talking about choosing your words, like twins are twice the life, instead of like double the trouble kind of thing, which is what everybody wants to say.
I know.
Oh, side note, funny story. I was in line the other day at a coffee shop and I was talking to somebody in front of me about like, oh, I'm having twins. Like I was like catching up or whatever. I hadn't seen them in a while. And what the heck just so it's talking to me. Sorry. And this lady behind me who I didn't know was like, oh my gosh, you're having twins. I would kill myself if I had twins. And me being who I am, looked at her and was like, oh, okay, guess I'll go kill myself. Literally just like that. I didn't smile. I didn't laugh, nothing. She just kind of looked at me and I was like, okay, yeah. And I just moved on. I was like, what the hell? Like,
Lady,
who
come
says
on.
stuff like that?
It's clearly somebody who, no, like nobody's talking to you. Yeah, wow, all an opinion.
Yeah, pretty
Wow,
ridiculous.
okay.
I thought that was funny. But there's a ton of like, and you don't have to have twins to do these rituals either. But I thought they were really cool, like doing a womb water blessing where you dip your fingers into a bowl of water and trace gentle circles over your belly, blessing your wounds with the energy of the baby or babies. And you whisper like positive affirmations into the water.
I love that.
Like you are loved, you're protected, you are divine travelers, I honor you, like stuff like that. I thought that was a really cool one. And then just like sitting in meditation and asking questions, like trying to like open communication to your baby or babies. Like, what do you wish to share with me? What do you need from me? Like, what's your message for this world kind of thing?
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting. There's some crystal blessings you can do. Where's this? The 2 candles. So this one is twin specific. For the first, you light the first candle and it says that you say, I light this flame to honor the spirit of the first soul, radiant and whole. And then you light the second candle and you say to honor the spirit of the second soul, radiant and whole. And then you call, like, then you can use names if you already know them, or you can call them like child of light or child of wonder. And it's just kind of like opening up the channel to that, like opening up the portal to allow those souls in. I thought that was super interesting.
That is really nice. Will you do any of these rituals?
Totally. I'll totally do that. But yeah, we'll see.
Oh my gosh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
One thing that I used to do with the boys when I, well, one at a time, I didn't have twins, but used to play music. But this is also back in the day where you had literally put like a device over your belly. Now it's so much easier. There was like apps and all these things that you can use. But I always felt more connected when I was playing music to them all the time. And what is really crazy is that there was a couple of songs. So Beautiful Boy by John Lennon. I used to sing to them all the time at night. That. So they know that till this day, you know, like if I say, close your eyes, and they just kind of smile. And then there's I forgot the name of the song, but it's oh my gosh, why can the Depeche Mode, a song from the Depeche Mode that I used to play for them all the time, and they still recognize it, which is so really awesome. Cool. Yeah. That, you know, it's like it started in the womb, and then just they still kind of holds a place in their heart. So it's
those will always be special songs. And I love that. I was talking to somebody about that the other day too, because I'll sing or chant like a lot in class and stuff like that. And one of my students came up to me, she goes, I bet your babies are going to just be born like so peaceful. I was like, oh, I'm only hoping. But it is interesting, like that vibration. Like they have to feel that. Oh, you know?
Yeah.
So
we are vibrational beings. Yeah. I love that.
Well, that's all I got. Did you have anything?
I was like, and you probably, if you're watching it, probably
heavy into like pregnancy. It's the ice maker or the poltergeist. I don't know. But I went heavy into pregnancy, and like I wanted to do more about like mama powers. Like everybody talks about how like mom strength and all that stuff too, and I did not get that far.
No, don't. So I did a little bit more research on the metaphysical powers enhanced during pregnancy.
Let's hear about it.
So, of course, like you mentioned, the intuition and physical sensitivity. So pregnancy can deepen intuitive knowing. Many pregnant individuals report stronger gut instincts, prophetic dreams, or sudden awareness of truths without logical reason, akin to clear cognizance and heightened mother's intuition. So that's why it says like your mother's intuition, boom, will click in, and you're going to trust it like so much. It's just like, nope. My husband says it all the time. It's like, oh, you become this, this lioness, like cubs. And it doesn't matter if it's not your kid. Yeah. Like you will see something at a playground, or if there's a kid alone, you're going to go to that kid and be like, where's your mom? Yeah. Like, I am your protector. Yeah. It just happens. When now it'd be like, oh, maybe you'll go tell somebody, well, it'd be like, hey, park ranger, are you okay? Let me take you to the park ranger. No, now it's like, I'm going to stay here with you till we find your mother. Yeah. Or whomever you're with. Wow. Clairvoyance. And so the clear seeing, vivid dreams, of course, and visual downloads become more common, especially in the second and third trimester. These can be symbolic, guiding, or even predictive. So my friend had the
premonitions.
So clear audience, you're hearing clear hearing. And the thing with clairvoyance too is like, nope, I just kind of saw, I have a gut feeling and I kind of saw it play out and we're not going that route or we're going this route. Clear audience, clear hearing. Some report hearing inner guidance more clearly or sensing messages from spirit guides, ancestors, or even the soul of their unborn child.
Wow.
So the hearing, telepathic or empathic connection. There may be a stronger emotional connection to others, especially to partners, other mothers, or the collective feminine. Some reports sensing the emotions or thoughts of those around them more deeply. So because everything is kind of heightened.
Yeah.
Mediumship and spiritual communication. With the veil, as we were talking, veil thin between worlds, some pregnant individuals become more sensitive to spiritual energies. Loved ones who have passed or guides may make contact.
Wow.
So they're wanting to. So like you mentioned, the spiritual midwife, right? The cosmic midwife connecting.
Love that.
So your meditation is say, okay, I can't nap necessarily right now, but I can meditate.
Yeah.
Manifestation power. Pregnancy is a creative portal. The act of co-creating life often enhances the ability to manifest, especially when aligned with love and intention. So,
Wow.
yeah. So that's kind of what I got. I kind of went more on
I
the
love that.
metaphysical
It's just
part.
a lot more energy. It's like there's so much, which is funny because like you're getting all this energy, but like that's probably why I'm so exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the downloads, and maybe they're coming in so fast. It's like I can't even process.
It's like overwhelming. the
And
system.
yeah. Oh my gosh, this has been awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for that little tidbit too, because I also feel like kind of summed up a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
Because I kind of went a little crazy, but
No, you did great. I was like, we're going to go and we're going to flow with this
just gonna let it
episode.
go.
We're just going to let it be wherever it needs to be. I bet you there's, people out there who find this episode greatly beneficial.
hope
And
so.
they're also going like, wow, okay, this is happening. I'm not going crazy. It's just heighten my abilities,
Yeah.
noticing things. And we don't need to be scared of that.
no.
You know?
Yeah. Embrace it.
Yeah.
And nurture it now. And then when you have these babies, like teach them.
Yes.
Like I'm so excited to like share that connection and share just like my learnings and just being able to like nurture that part of them,
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that. And I think it'll be really cool to watch these kids grow up and see who they become, obviously. But I mean, just with the knowledge I think that I've gained, I think it's all for a reason.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's brought you here now, but I can already like see you as a grandma doing it with your
love
grandkids.
that.
So it's gonna be
That's gonna be so freaking cool.
It's just like
I'm
wow.
going to be that grandma, you guys.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Anything else
Yes.
before?
No, I mean, I feel pretty good.
Perfect.
I know it's been like an hour because my ear's hurting.
I know. I was like, oh man. Earlier, I'm all like, I need
least
to
an hour.
lean back and just like,
It's always my right ear that it's like, okay, time for podcast to be over because this ear starts to hurt for some reason. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And it's not my headphones. It's like in my ear.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know why.
No, I take off the headphones and it feels better.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, thank you again. I love this
Thank
episode.
you.
It was so great. And all the mamas out there, you're doing the best. You know, and you're
I
doing
see
great,
you.
Shelby.
I see you,
We
mamas.
see you,
I
we
see
feel you. We're with you.
thank
And
you.
it's not going to last forever when we're in that discomfort. And definitely making time to speak up about what each person needs and
not be
take care of
scared
yourself.
to be real with yourself and real with your partners or those
Absolutely.
that you trust. Like it's okay.
Absolutely.
Totally.
All right. Well, follow us on all the medias. Join the Coven on Patreon. We have awesome things happening there. And I guess check out our episodes every Thursday.
Yes.
So tune in, stay curious. Until next time, besitos. Bye.
Peace.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to follow us on social media at Witches Who Podcast.